I hope you're having a great week 3 of class. I can't believe we've made it this far already. I feel like spring semester always flies. I wanted to debrief with you about week's 1 discussion questions just to make sure that you have some follow-up and aren't left hanging with any questions that you might have. The discussion questions that we looked at really discussed the way that sport has been allowed to grow and develop in our society because of our lack of having to deal with our basic needs like getting food, clothing, and shelter for ourselves. So according to Dunning, he uses this term pacified social spaces. And what does that mean? And that's one of what your discussion questions was about. What is this pacified social space concept that has allowed sport to grow? So what Dunning means is that goods and services are reliably produced and distributed in our society. We can go to the store and get groceries for dinner. We don't have to spend all day hunting and gathering. So we know that those basic goods and services are going to be there, kind of at our fingertips when we need them. And then that we also, in addition to being able to go down to the corner store and get what we need, we have the income, most of us, to make sure that we can get them. We can get the basics. We can get our dinner. We can get our basic needs taken care of because they're available in our local stores and because we have generally enough money to get those basics. So that gives us enough time to pursue sports. Otherwise, how do sports help us to survive on a daily basis? They really don't. So we've got enough money and time to pursue sports. And this compares to one of the definitions of leisure that you read about in the Ibrahim chapter, in that leisure is free time spent away from obligations. And leisure and sport are allowed to develop when there's enough time after existence, such as eating, sleeping, or simply staying alive, or subsistence, such as working. So when these human needs are met, and then there's still time left over, then there's enough time within our leisure for sports to grow and develop. So then one of the other interesting questions posed in Dunning was, how might sport gradually replace war and religion? So what did you think of that? War and religion are some big forces in our society. So how can sport even compare? Do you think that that's even feasible? And what Dunning does is compares sport to the collective mobilization that we see in the military. And collective mobilization means that we as a large group, we move and travel in an organized manner. So think about when your team plays an away game and you go there and you see hotel accommodations and watch parties and tailgates and the hotels where all the fans are staying. And there's clearly been some planning done around traveling. And it seems as tens of thousands of fans can get up and travel in the same way in an organized manner, and military is the same way. Armies move, armies travel. They set up the logistics to go somewhere else to do operations on an away turf as an away game. And so Dunning is comparing those two things. And then another thing he talks about we see this both in military operations and in religion, is the idea of a we group versus a they group. So in religion, we often think that our religion is correct, is the right one or the true one that we follow. And other religions may be okay, but it's not ours. We refer to ours as we. And the same thing in war. We are America. Are we winning? How are our troops doing? So there's an idea of we versus they. And whenever you refer to your team in sports, you always say we. I'm a Cardinals fan. How did we do last year? So that idea of a we group is established in sports, war, and religion, according to Dunning. And then Dunning also talks about the third thing I wanted to mention in how Dunning compares sports to both war and religion is the idea of generating an excitement in a basic way that war and religion do. War and religion really appeal to some of our more basic human emotions, and so do sports, according to Dunning. So I thought that was an interesting comparison, and I hope you did too. It really kind of boils down how sports can be a very basic sociological force, maybe similar to war or religion. And Dunning even goes as far as to say that sports will replace war and religion. And I don't know about that, and I don't know what you thought about that. So I am really going to enjoy reading your discussion questions on that one. So have a great week, and thanks for the debrief on week 1's materials.